Welcome back to Willey's Weekly, where we talk Denver Nuggets basketball. I'm your host, Josiah Willey, and today we'll be talking about the first round of the playoffs. In Game 5, which was on Tuesday, the Denver Nuggets won their game 147-140 in a double overtime fashion. Damian Lillard led all scorers with 55 points, making 12 three-pointers, which is a playoff record for most threes made in a game. The only issue for Damian Lillard is he could not get that much help, with only Robert Covington scoring 19 points, McCollum 18 points, and then Powell and Nurkic both scoring 13. On the contrary, the Nuggets scoring was very well spread, with Nikola Jokic scoring 38, Michael Porter Jr. 26, 18 for Austin Rivers, 14 for Aaron Gordon, 28 for Monte Morris off the bench. Even though Facundo Campazzo is listed as a starter because he started the game, he started to struggle early in the game and they put Monte Morris in for 41 minutes. One of the main reasons the Denver Nuggets pulled him and made him a bench player going into the second half is Facundo Campazzo only hit 1 of 5 shots all game long, even though it was a two-pointer, and then also getting a free throw later in the game. While that shouldn't be enough to pull him, is the main reason he is in there is to stop Damian Lillard, and with Damian Lillard going off for 55 points, he didn't really do his job, so Monte Morris stepped in. This is the role that we thought Monte Morris would have going into the playoffs, and frankly, I like this move because of the scoring and the passing that Monte Morris gives you. He may not be as good at defense, but with Michael Porter Jr. stepping up and guarding Damian Lillard in the second half, it will really help the Nuggets going forth in this playoff series. If the Nuggets win tonight in Game 6, the Portland Trailblazers will be eliminated and the Denver Nuggets will be taking on the Phoenix Suns or the Los Angeles Lakers, depending on who wins that series. Speaking of that series, the Phoenix Suns have a 3-2 lead, so most likely it will be the Nuggets versus the Suns. But right now, that's the least of the Denver Nuggets' worries, because they're going against one of the clutchest players in the NBA, Damian Lillard. To prove my point, Damian Lillard hit 2 threes to send it into overtime, and then another one to send it into double overtime. With Monte Morris leading the charge for the bench, there's been another surprise that's really helped after that last game of the regular season, and that is Marcus Howard. He has really stepped up for the Denver Nuggets when he's been needed most, scoring 9 points in the last game of this series in Game 5. This young player is something for the Denver Nuggets fans and staff to look forward to. It's come to a point that even without Jamal Murray being on the court, the Denver Nuggets have found a way to score each and every night effectively. Monte Morris was able to step up last game, and Michael Porter Jr. is starting to show up ever since about halfway through this season. Nikola Jokic is being Nikola Jokic with that MVP caliber season. Aaron Gordon's able to come in and score when the Denver Nuggets need him as a starter. Then you have Facundo Campazzo. Even though he only scored 3 points in the last matchup against the Portland Trailblazers, he's been able to be in there and get a few points when the Denver Nuggets need him most. He's also been able to get stops against Damian Lillard for a majority of this series. Then you have Monte Morris coming off the bench, able to be effective both with or without Jamal Murray, being able to take on the pressure. And then you have the rookie Marcus Howard being able to step up in clutch moments. The Nuggets also have Austin Rivers after that late season signing, who scored 18 points in that last game, being able to step up when the Denver Nuggets have needed him most. JaVale McGee, who's been someone who's just been able to stop defense of possessions each and every night. And then you have Paul Millsap able to come off the bench, hit a few shots. JaMychal Green able to do the exact same thing. So with this amazing team that the Denver Nuggets staff has built, the Denver Nuggets are basically unstoppable. Now that staff needs to find out if this team that they've built can take them to the promised land. And I personally think that this team can do it. The only issue for the Denver Nuggets coming ahead is that the fact that they have the Phoenix Suns and possibly the Utah Jazz, if both make to the conference finals, to face off. Chris Paul with his experience on the Suns and Devin Booker's scoring ability and DeAndre Ayton's dominant paint presence can make a really tough time for the Denver Nuggets. Then if they get past that, they have to face the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz have Donovan Mitchell, who went absolutely crazy in Game 5 against the Memphis Grizzlies to eliminate them. Then you have Rudy Gobert, a potential Defensive Player of the Year. And then you have Sixth Man of the Year and Sixth Man candidate Joe Ingles and Bojan Bogdanovic. With those players alone, it is nearly impossible for the Nuggets to do it. But with the scoring ability the Nuggets have and the new defensive acquisitions that they have made, the Nuggets should be able to make it to the promised land. I'm your host, Josiah Willey, signing off for now.